Peace and blessings to everybody out there. I hope you guys are doing good. First, I'd like to give a praise and honor to the Most High Yah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let me say this. I tried to comment up under, and it's late here, so forgive me, but I tried to comment under a brother's channel. You know, he made a video that was very, very, very insightful, very important for not just our people, but to everybody out there who is deceived. But not to put you on blast, but his name is Big Boss. But bro, like, I remember you told me before that they was deleting my comments and stuff like that, but they literally deleted my comments twice. So I'm gonna just, I thank the Most High Yah for putting into your spirit to make such a thing. And like I said, this does not, take away from any of the things that he's used you to talk about and to put up, to teach in terms of the lessons and the messages that he's poured into you. But this is just to say, like, honestly, like, I was so like, stark to do this because this was weighing heavy on my spirit as well. And now I completely understand it because it's come to fruition. And, like scripture says, when two or more witnesses are gathered together, then the presence of the Most High is established. And this is obvious. Like it's confirmed, by two people. And let me say this. I agree with you 100% that George Floyd was of the 2/3. And one of the biggest reasons being is because, for one, I honestly agree that I believe that he could give a hill of beans about the Most High Yah and the Most High's flock, period. Now, here's what's so interesting is that I understand now because I prophesied about this, and, this does not take away from the entirety of the vision that I had and that I prophesied about. So it still stands, the entirety of it. But also, it's just like reading a precept, where you read a precept one time and you get the understanding to it, but then you read it again, you return to it and read it again, and you get a deeper understanding to it, where the understanding, it echoes. So it has like a deeper meaning to it than just the first meeting, So that's just kind of like literally how the visions are. They echo, meaning that they have a thorough meaning to it. So what I want to say is that I don't know if you guys can recount. I made a video about prophesying about. Now I don't want to get into details to it, but let me just say this. But in particular, the highlight of it, for sure, I don't know if you guys remember, but, well, not the highlight, but let me just highlight this so that you will be able to just go ahead and timestamp it. I'll see if I can timestamp it and you can go right to it. But the guy had a football jersey on. It was purple, and the numbers were not blotted out, but they were out of focus. So I couldn't see the numbers, but I knew that he was a brother. Now, I was thinking that, this person was probably my brother, but I knew he was a brother, but I couldn't understand the significance of this guy, why my mind or my eyes was focused on him, when he was being killed. And, I intended on making another video about the visions that I've had about, seeing like brothers, like, these other like black dudes. And I've been seeing like I said, their descriptions or features distinctively was out of focus, but I knew that they were brothers. That's what I kept on seeing, but I didn't. This is before the Ahmaud Arbery killing, as well as the Dreshan, as well as the George Floyd. This is before that even happened. But now I understand it. And I don't know if you remember, but I also made a video saying that I had a vision also about a fist. So I agree with you, brother, Big Boss, when you said that Black Lives Matter movement, is completely like a total like it's corruption. Like, it's corrupted. I agree with you. And let me say this. I don't malign myself with no organized religion, no organized coalition, nothing like that. So let me just say that. But I also made a video a while back about the Black Lives Matter movement. And here's the thing. They got our people duped. And not just our people, but they got other nations as well duped with this Black Lives Matter movement. And this is not to go against a person's morality, the overall person as a human being, because we all human, okay? Let me just say that. So let me get that out of the way. But if you go and you do your research on the Black Lives Matter movement, the three women are, quote, black feminists, unquote, okay? And then two of them identify as, quote, queer, unquote, okay? One of them out of the three is a practicing witch who practices Ifa, okay? Which is ancestral worship, okay? African spirituality, which is no different than worship in the Orishas, all of that crap. Candomblé, Santeria, all that. It's the same thing, okay? So I'm not going to go into that. But this is what I'm saying. How they got people duped is that it's always about controlled opposition, okay? And these people, they had to get their foot in the door. Now, they hid the fact, or they might say that they never hid the fact that they identified as queer, was openly queer, okay? They might say that. They were never, trying to hide that. But the reality is that they didn't make that known, obviously, because they knew that that was going to completely obstruct their agenda from the get-go. And this is why it's controlled opposition, because they knew that they had to get their foot in the door, and it was geared towards a market of people, which was the black community, okay? And other people who wanted to, quote unquote, support the black community, right? And to be a part of a coalition that was going to cover, and fight for injustices that was centered around black people, okay? And what people need to understand is that they made sure that they kept that under the rug, okay? Until they got their foot in the door, because obviously it was just about, first off, it was about heterosexual black men, black women, okay? Until later on, you start getting people saying, oh, well, what about, the black LGBTQ start saying, oh, what about the black trans, the black gays and so on and so forth, and then that's when they started becoming this all-inclusive, all Black Lives Matter thing. You see what I mean? Because they already knew. For one, they couldn't just outrightly come out and say, oh, well, we're three, black feminists and two of us identify as queer, blah, blah, blah. And we started the Black Lives Matter movement. No, because then that'll be obvious. It's like from the jump, why aren't you including the black LGBTQ? You see what I mean? So it's controlled opposition is what I'm saying. So anyone who's maligned with that coalition, you need to understand that it's a fucking corruption. And I'm going to just keep it real. I cussed. Yes, I did. I'm human. Blah, blah, blah. Get over it. It is. It's corrupted. Completely. It is. And you need to ask yourself, what is so special about George Floyd in particular, this person in particular, to have this mass amount of chaos centered around this one person? And I found out, and let me tell you something. My cousin, I went to his house, her house, because it was his mom, but she has a son who is 17 years old, who's my younger cousin. He just turned 17. He's very bright, very intelligent, very smart, very intuitive, very sharp. And he told me, and this is what shined light on what I was lacking about the vision. And it was what confirmed it. He was like, oh, did you know that George Floyd was a Freemason, bro? I was like, you know what? I believe you. And I understand why he was. Absolutely. Because they wouldn't be doing all this stuff. They wouldn't be doing all this stuff for just some random dude. Come on now. They wouldn't. Come on. They wouldn't. They would not. They would not be doing all this for just some random dude. Trust and believe. I believe that he was most certainly a Freemason. He was most certainly, if you go and you do your research, he had the tattoo on his chest, all that type of stuff, but I'm not about to go into that. And like I said, I'm not decimating his character or anything like that, but it's obvious that he was a part of the 2/3. And bro, Big Boss, like you said, all those people who are sitting out there rah-rah and doing all that protest, a lot of them are a part of the 2/3. They're sitting out here doing that gang stalking with us. I truly believe that they paid a lot of them damn protesters to do that crap, just like how they paid them to gang stalk us and to terrorize us and be a part of our persecution. So it's nothing different. They paid a lot of these private security corporations to hire people to go and dress up in casual clothing, to march around and act like as if they're part of a coalition, to burn trucks, burn this, burn that. You know how the media does. They like to throw fumes to the fire. It's a Hollywood show for them 24/7. That's what I'm saying. So I don't believe the junk that they try to shove down my throat just because they displaying it. I don't. I see beyond it. And I thank you, brother, for being one of the ones who can see beyond the bullshit. So I'm not one of those people, and it's something that they got our people duped, and they got, a mass amount of other people from other nations duped as well. So all I'm saying is that people, you need to do your research. It's evidently clear. Now I understand exactly who that person was, the dude that I was seeing, as well as the fists that I was seeing. Excuse me. Hence the Black Lives Matter or corrupted Black Lives Matter coalition. And it's something because they deleting people's comments up under your video because they know that it's the truth. You tell them the truth 100%. Like, it's the 100% truth. And people don't want to hear this mess, but this is the truth. Our people always, they want to uplift, and they always want to make the spearhead of a person who literally is basically, they're like, they don't have no means on trying to better the community, no means on trying to better themselves or anything like that. And they have no means on trying to most importantly, do the Most High's will. And that's just the reality. So pull out a track record of this person speaking about the Most High, getting close to the Most High, all that type of stuff. I'm saying, I'm not judging this person. I'm not. We all got issues. That's just the truth. We all do. But what I'm saying is that I see beyond the layers that they're trying to paint. I see beyond that. And that's just all I'm saying. So peace and blessings. That's all I wanted to get on here and say. I'm out.